After a series of snide attacks against Peter Dutton, Labor and Anthony Albanese have been caught out badly. Remember that pathetic attack on Dutton 2 weeks ago when Labor and their media mates suggested it was wrong for the opposition leader to fly to Sydney for meetings and a fundraiser 4 days before tropical cyclone Alfred was due to hit Queensland? Listen to them.
Jetted off to a fundraiser at Sydney Harbourside this week when his own community was actually trying to get prepared for this event. So he was filling Liberal Party money bags while his own community was filling sandbags, which I think says a lot about him.
And Albo loved to kick that story along too, claiming the high ground.
And you know what the most important thing I was doing last week was? Dealing with the impact of the cyclone on Australians in southeast Queensland and northern New South Wales. Now, one of the political leaders in this country had to be present during that period. That's what I was doing.
OK, that's the story so far. We know Dutton was back in Brisbane the Wednesday before the cyclone because we interviewed him at lunchtime from his property about preparations for the cyclone. And back then we'd heard Albanese also had a fundraiser in Sydney on the same day as Dutton. So it was put to him. Have a listen to what he says when he was questioned about that.
On Peter Dutton's movements, it's been well reported that he was at a political fundraiser in Sydney on March 4. Did you also attend a fundraising event on that day?
Look, that's a matter for him.
When China that's a matter for you, Prime Minister. It's a matter of whether you attended a fundraising event.
That's a matter for him. I'm not sure what day you're talking about.
He's not sure what day they were talking about. Did he just deny he was at a fundraiser in Sydney on the same day? Or did he just evade the point? Make up your own mind. But the Australian Financial Review revealed yesterday that Albo was at a fundraiser on the same day as Dutton's in the same city, 4 days out from the cyclone. Albo's was at the Cabra-Vale Diggers in southwestern Sydney, where people paid $2,000 a head to hear the PM, with the cash going into Labor Party coffers. This is game, set and match. Labor attacking Dutton for doing exactly what Albo did, and the PM deceptively trying to hide it. But now he's been caught out. Instead of apologising, Albo doubled down today, and he still tried to stick it to Dutton.
I travelled to Queensland on the same day that Peter Dutton travelled away from Queensland.
But on March 4 you attended the fundraiser.
I travelled away from Queensland on the same to Queensland on the same day that Peter Dutton left Queensland.
Yeah, well, actually, both of them headed to Sydney for the Tuesday fundraisers. And the only difference is that Albanese was able to fly up to Brisbane that night because he has a taxpayer-funded personal jet, while Dutton had to wait for the first commercial flight in the morning. Airbus Albo strikes again.